The House just voted on the Born Alive Survivors Protection Act. This bill is simple. If any abortion is botched and the baby is born alive, that baby cannot be left for dead, but must receive medical care like any live human being. Sadly, only one Democrat voted for it, while 210 Democrats voted against this bill and want to allow these babies to be left for dead. This is sick. This is radical. This is where the Democrat Party stands today, but it's certainly not where the American people stand. I'll always fight for life of the unborn and the born. I'll always fight for you.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, Democrats really are an extremist party, okay? They are a party of extremists. They have no morals and values and ethics, okay? And stories like this are a prime example of what I'm talking about, as the Republicans actually are making some smart moves in Congress. I can't lie to you. I'm not a fan of Kevin McCarthy, but I actually am a fan of this move right here that is being spearheaded by the Republicans in the House to highlight the extremism on the left when it comes to this issue of abortion, where Republicans arguably lost the midterms partly because of the abortion issue, as the thoughty vote came out in droves to protect their constitutional right to abortion, even though it's not actually really a constitutional right. But I'm just saying, this is what they think of it as. And, you know, I think it can be safe to say that overturning Roe v. Wade definitely affected the midterm. So what the Republicans are trying to do here is that they're trying to put the ball back in the Democrats' court and to highlight the Democrats' extremism on this issue of abortion. And they're doing that with this bill called the Born Alive Act. The full name is the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which they put on the floor for a vote, and it passed 220 to 210. Basically, all the Democrats voted against it for the most part. Actually, I think one voted present. And Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and other Democrats had an absolute meltdown over this bill that basically requires care for babies who are born after a failed abortion. Okay, so if a mother or a potential mother, I guess, if a woman gets an abortion and the abortion fails and the baby is actually born alive, then it is required by law that the healthcare providers, abortion center, whatever, that they actually try to keep the baby alive, that they get the baby medical care and treatment that it needs. Now, here's the kicker on this, guys. This law is already on the books, okay? Back in 2002, there was an act that was passed that was similar to this that already gave the same legal protections to infants born alive, okay, even after a failed abortion. So it's already on the books. The difference between that legislation and this legislation is that this legislation actually adds penalties to healthcare providers who refuse to act to preserve life after a failed abortion, including up to 5 years in prison. Or if they're found guilty of intentionally trying to kill a baby after it was born after a failed abortion, then they could be charged with murder. It also allows the healthcare provider to be sued by the person that they performed an abortion on. These are the things that were added to this legislation. Very reasonable things, by the way. I believe very reasonable things that every American citizen should be able to agree upon if you have just an ounce of any type of ethics or morals or anything like that, that Democrats are literally losing their minds over, okay? They're losing their minds over the fact that Republicans passed and voted on this bill, and they're trying to say that this is an example of Republican extremism, when the reality is that this actually really highlights the Democrats' extremism, because I don't know who in the world in this country can agree with allowing a baby that is born alive to die, okay, on a cold, I don't know, plate or whatever they put the baby on. Who can agree with that? And then say that, well, healthcare providers shouldn't be responsible. They shouldn't be required to provide treatment and to try to keep the baby alive. And if they fail to do so, they shouldn't be punished. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that you are an extremist if you do not agree with this bill right here from the Republicans. And again, the whole point of Kevin McCarthy pushing this bill is to highlight the extremism of the Democrats on this issue of abortion, where they literally believe in abortion after birth. Like literally after the baby's born alive, they still believe in killing the baby. And let's just say that he was very successful at highlighting how the Democrats truly feel about this issue, how extreme they are on this issue, because just listen to how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs the Democrats sound trying to defend their no vote against this bill in the House. It truly is amazing how the Democrats are using mental gymnastics to try to justify this vote. Take a look.
The problem with this bill is not that it makes anything, that it is not that it provides any new protections for infants. The problem with this bill is that it endangers some infants by stating that that infant must immediately be brought to the hospital, where, depending on the circumstances, that may be the right thing to do for the health and survival of that infant, or it may not. That is the problem with this bill. It directs and mandates a certain medical care which may not be appropriate, which may be endanger the life of an infant in certain circumstances. That's why we oppose this bill.
As our chairman had said, not only is it illegal to not care for a born infant, but the law that you have provided on the Republican side actually can create more harm. It requires immediately taking a struggling baby to a hospital. That hospital could be hours away and could be detrimental to the life of that baby. This is nothing more than the part of the effort to make abortion illegal nationally in this country. I object, and I urge a no vote and yield back.
Yeah, you guys seen that, you heard that. I honestly don't know what to say. I'm honestly speechless, okay? Because the Democrats are literally arguing. They're saying it is actually unsafe to have healthcare providers be required to try to keep a baby alive, to take them to a hospital if they happen to survive an abortion. That's actually harmful to the baby. That's literally what they're arguing verbatim in Congress. Again, it's unbelievable, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. That literally should be in every Republican campaign ad, okay? Because this bill has nothing to do with abortions in the first trimester at all, which a majority of abortions are performed. It has something to do with really a vast minority of abortions, probably 1%, less than that really, where you do have, some infants or babies, they end up surviving. Again, to me, the Democrats walk right into Kevin McCarthy's trap, right? They walk right into his trap because they literally, it sounds to me like they believe in killing babies, right? This is literally what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And again, even if you're somebody that is pro-choice, okay, most people in this country are pro-choice in the first trimester. It's more of a gray area when it comes to second trimester. In the third trimester, most people are against it. Democrats are straight up telling you, we're not only for abortions up into the third trimester, we're also for it after they're born, right? We're for straight up just killing babies, right? So if you mess up on the abortion and the baby survives, we're totally fine with killing it, right? I mean, again, wow. I mean, it's just unbelievable, right? The mental gymnastics that they jump through to try to justify voting no against this is insane. But again, this is political football, right? That was the point. The whole point was to have the Democrats go on record with their vote, basically saying that, yeah, we're totally fine with killing babies, right? When they're alive, okay? Actual people, murder. We're totally fine with murder. So let's read more here because Nancy Pelosi chimed in on this. And I want to read this. I want to talk about this. Senior Democratic lawmakers took to Twitter shortly after the House passed the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which requires doctors to provide care for infants born alive after a failed abortion, to criticize the Republicans who supported the, quote, extreme bill. Again, I don't know what's extreme about this bill. Voting against it is extreme. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Vice President Kamala Harris were among those who responded. Quote, today, instead of joining Democrats to condemn all political violence, House Republicans chose to push their extreme anti-choice agenda, Pelosi tweeted Wednesday. Yeah, again, the irony of this tweet from Nancy Pelosi is insane. Instead of joining Democrats to condemn all political violence, right? When has Nancy Pelosi and Democrats ever condemned any political violence on their side of the aisle? They didn't condemn the Roe v. Wade rioters. They didn't condemn the BLM rioters. They didn't condemn the Antifa rioters. I don't want to hear anything from Democrats about political violence ever or condemning it because they never do it when their side of the aisle commits a vast majority of the political violence in this country. She added, quote, Democrats believe everyone deserves the freedom to access reproductive health services without fear of violence, intimidation, or harassment. You know what's also ironic about this? This is the party that's supposed to be for universal health care, right? They're supposed to be for universal health care for everybody. You know how much they talk about access to health care? We need more access to health care, access to health care. Apparently, that goes out the window when it comes to actual people, babies, right? Babies, people who happen to be babies, right? They are legal persons. Now, we don't believe in health care for them, right? No universal socialized medicine for them. Amazing. Pelosi, who retired from Democratic leadership after Republicans retook the majority in the 2022 midterm elections, repeated her remarks in a second tweet. Quote, Democrats will always defend reproductive freedoms against extreme Republicans who disrespect a woman's right to choose the size and timing of her family, she said. And these are serious personal decisions that must be made by women guided by faith, physician, and family, not by politicians. Amazing. Schumer, who did not vote in the bill as a senator, responded similarly. Quote, the MAGA Republican control House is putting on display their extreme views on women's health with legislation that does not even have the support of the American people, he wrote. I guarantee you, if you poll most American people on this legislation, they would support it. I guarantee you. There's no doubt in my mind they would support it. Again, what is extreme about this? This is what Republicans need to be asking. What is extreme about this? Honestly, Republicans need to hammer this for a long time. They need to never stop talking about this. Because again, this really is a mask off moment for the Democrats in regards to this abortion issue, in which, you know, a lot of them claim, well, I don't support abortion up to, birth. But they actually really do. They support it after birth. This is proof. This is concrete evidence. The vice president also made her opinion known. Quote, House Republicans passed an extreme bill today that will further jeopardize the right to reproductive health care in our country. Harris tweeted, this is yet another attempt by Republican legislators to control women's bodies. Wow, amazing stuff. The Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act says any infant born alive following an abortion attempt or that survives the abortion is a legal person for all purposes under the laws of the United States. Again, that's already on the books. Already on the books. Doctors and healthcare workers would have to keep the child alive as a reasonably diligent and conscientious healthcare practitioner would render to any other child born alive. A child born at an abortion clinic that does not have adequate care facilities would be responsible for transporting the child to a hospital. Again, what is unreasonable about that? What is unreasonable about it? What is extreme about that? Again, who can disagree with this? Again, even if you are pro-choice, how in the world can you disagree with this? I don't understand. It is already illegal for doctors and nurses to deny care to individuals. Nearly every House Democrat on Wednesday voted against the legislation, which passed 220 to 210. Quote, all the no votes came from Democrats who claimed the bill could endanger more children or further complicate medical decisions. Rep. Henry Kohler, a Democrat from Texas, voted for the bill, while Rep. Vicente Gonzalez, also from Texas, voted present. Other Democrat leaders in the chamber echoed Pelosi, Schumer, and Harris's remarks, criticizing Republicans over the extreme position. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries tweeted, we will always defend a woman's freedom to make her own reproductive health care decisions. Minority House Whip Catherine Clark, Democrat in Massachusetts, said the extreme bill was akin to assaulting reproductive justice. Again, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. You had the Democratic Women's Caucus. They dressed in all white, okay, to try to make a show out of this, to basically say that, hey, yeah, we're totally fine with, killing babies, right? This is our short support for killing babies. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. yeah, my mind is blown, right? My mind is actually really blown by this. But at the same time, again, this is who the Democrats are. This is who they are. This is who they've always been. And good job by Kevin McCarthy. Like, low key, like, real talk. Like, this is a good move. This is actually how you play politics. And you turn the tables back on the Democrats by forcing them to have a tough vote on a very extremist position that they have in their party. Now, this bill is not going to see action in the Senate because Chuck Schumer is not going to bring it to the floor. But the purpose of the bill in and of itself was not to get passed, okay? He knew it wouldn't get passed. The purpose was, again, to force the Democrats to vote on it and to get all of these highlights from the Democrats doing mental gymnastics to defend killing babies, right? And now you can use this as campaign material and an attack against Democrats because, again, I don't understand how any reasonable, sane, or moral person, anybody with any type of basic ethics or morals and values can vote no on a bill like this. Again, even if you are, very pro-choice or whatever, do you really support allowing babies that are born alive, like actual people, to die, right? Do you really support that? Apparently the Democrats do. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.